Hi everyone, welcome into this week's CBS Fix. This week's video is dedicated to two very dear Ragers to me, Liza Spiegel and Eric Lebovic, who are hopefully getting married this Sunday, God willing. I just want to wish them all the best. They should build a Bayis Nam B'Yisrael. In this week's Parsha, Parshas Tazria, we see a very interesting concept. In other Parshas, we saw that generally when one brings two offerings to Hashem, one a sin offering and the other one an elevation offering, the sin offering would come before the elevation offering. The reason being, Rashi likens it to one who sinned against the king. So before you can get in a private audience with the king, you first have to beg him forgiveness for something that the person had done wrong against the king. And only then, once he has attained forgiveness, then he can actually come close to either bring a gift or to ask a favor, whatever it may be. However, in this week's Parsha, we seem to say that a woman who gives birth has to bring two offerings, an elevation offering and a sin offering, and the Torah mentions the elevation offering first. So the question is, why should that be? And one of the answers that I saw from my Rebbe, Reb Nissen Kaplan, who said in the name of the Rosh Yeshiva of Gateshead, Rabbi Gurewitz, he said an incredible lesson that we all have to learn in general. We generally follow certain rules with how to come closer to Hashem. For example, we'll have Yirah Shamayim before Ahavas Hashem, which means fear of heaven before we actually love heaven. It's an order of things. However, we know as a principle, I've heard this from other rabbis as well, that even though there's a general order of things, but to try to partake of a higher level, even though you're not ready on it, is also good every once in a while. Even though you're not necessarily holding on the level of loving Hashem, but to act in certain ways as if you love Hashem, even though you don't fear Hashem, is still something that we are trained to do. And the similar concept is over here as well. The woman brings the elevation offering because the elevation offering is something that she's shooting for. And even though she may not be on that level yet, or even though we may not be on a level when a man is bringing an offering, nevertheless, that is really what her goal is. When you always keep your goal focused, and rather when you always stay focused on your goal, so that internalizes a certain message inside of you and allows you to actually come closer to Hashem. So the Torah is saying that when you read it, Rashi tells us that when you read this parsha, you should read the part of the elevation offering first, because that is a lesson that when we read it, we should be thinking the elevation offering, because that's the loftier goal. Whereas while the sin offering actually is brought first, but when you read it, read about the sin offering, read about the elevation offering first. Because always keep in mind that goal. And therefore, in any goal that we have, sometimes we'll tell ourselves, I'm not on that level, who am I? Shoot for the stars. Aim for the stars. And the Kala of this week's wedding on Sunday, was a girl that shot for the stars. And I remember how she was 2 years ago, and she has gone above and beyond. I'm very proud of her and her husband, future husband to be Eric. So I just want to wish everyone a wonderful, wonderful Shabbos. Shoot for the stars, and I will talk to you next week. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.